All right. Oh, wait. We have Ray as the Wehrmacht player. We are on Road to Tunis. On the other side, we have Mr. Tushkan as the USF. We are in the first semifinals of the day, and today joining me is the legend, Mr. Stormless. How are you doing? What are we expecting? What are we seeing, my dear friend?
Well, I'm very good. Very, very honored to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me today. And yeah, what a fantastic semifinals match we've got. Ray, who I believe is second place in the leaderboards for Wehrmacht currently, against Kaiser Tushkan, and who I think he's third. So just two amazing 1v1 leaderboard players. And yeah, I think having a look at this, I think we've got really good, fairly equal win rates in 1v1 at the moment in the game. So no sort of big faction benefits, I would say, or like no easy wins here just for picking one faction over the other, which is quite interesting. Battle groups, we can already see that Tushkan's gone for Airborne, which very popular commander in 1v1 for US at the moment.
Yeah, are we going to see some airdropped MGs? No second rifleman. By the way, Ray starting double grenadier with double pioneer as a pretty standard there. Apparently no love for the MG42 over here. But yeah, I wish we would see more MG42s. I know it's not as good at the moment, but it still offers so much crowd control.
100%. I think it's not impossible to see it a bit later in the game. I just don't think it needs to be that go-to first unit anymore, because you do still get units that come right out at the start that can flank it, cause problems for it. I just think the Grenadier is a much safer choice at the moment.
Yeah. I still think the most beautiful way to play Wehrmacht is like the Code 2 way. MG42, triple grenadier, AT gun, and then you play a beautiful positioning gameplay. But
there are players that still do that, to be honest,
that's
in
true.
This game. But you know, Stephen JF, I see do it when I watch some of his games, but I haven't seen him so far up the leaderboards recently, so maybe that's not working.
Yeah. So third rifleman is coming out. Interestingly, no MG drop, maybe a little bit later. Usually we see it right away to get into a proper position and deny some map control. But Tushkan opted to go for triple rifleman.
Interesting to see why. Ray's Grenadiers in the top, by the way. I don't know if you see, they're just sort of sitting in a crater for ages to see if US comes to the north. But yeah. Really interesting to leave a squad there for so long, not having an impact on the central area.
Tushkan no controls both buildings on the 5 ammo pointer, and I think he should win this. Third rifleman is coming into the mix, and the isolated Gren has to go home.
Yeah, absolutely. We have got a flamer about to pop on the Pioneer, which should be able to clear that building out. We've got decent enough support there from Gren.
No reaction from Tushkan, loses a model. And Ray's playing a 4th Grenadier, so a little bit a call from the past. 4 Grenadiers, probably officer quarters next. Here we go. So really heavy tier 1 build. Tushkan playing a 4th rifleman. However, he cancelled infantry support center, so really inf heavy from both players. So I'm not sure where to play airborne then. I don't expect any airbornes or MG drops then. Maybe AT gun drop?
It is interesting. I mean, yeah, because you would normally, if you're trying to skip that tier, play for the AT gun drop. And then if he's going to go for mass amounts of riflemen, perhaps he's going to bank on like high resource game, get into tier 4 really, really quickly and start popping out things like a Sherman. Be interesting to see if Ray can prevent that from happening.
Yeah. So officer quarters is out now, 10% harder to hit. And it's a huge combat boost for the Grants against the Rifleman. And it really flips the script, and I don't see Tushkan being able to hold map that well. Or Ray might lose a Grand there, never mind. For models. But it's really low HP. Also heal now out from Tushkan. So
you see Tushkan, by the way, is just probing to this strategic cutoff point right outside of Ray's base. So a real focus on resource denial. It could be that we are looking for that skip into tanks really quickly.
Yeah, I like that. We have Luftwaffe Company on the way. 2-1 will be out though in time. 2-1 is relatively cheap, only 30 fuel. So, and Ray basically has 30 fuel already. 2-1 will hit really hard. There are no AT units for Tushkan on the field, and the 2-1 has such an amazing DPS profile.
Yeah, it's fantastic after the buffs recently. And then we'll absolutely be able to be converted into a very reliable mid-game counter to light vehicles if he chooses.
Yeah, we have bars on the way now from Tushkan. However, bars take some time. I think it's a minute or something like that. I don't play enough USF to know that.
Well, it's going very slowly, is basically. It's not as fast as you'd want it to be. This is going to be huge, though. In fact, to bring out, 4 rifleman squad already and then pop bars on all of them, that's going to be a big sort of window where, if he times it right, these riflemen can just storm the entire map.
In the meantime,
I think it's going to pop when he's mostly in base. So
yeah, it was not the best timing. It's not Co-1 level players where to try to time the bar upgrade. That all the riflemen are.
Where are you?
Yeah, to be fair though, with a minute of build time, it's hard to time that properly. So we have mechanized infantry support center coming in and grenades, and 2-1 in the queue. A little bit of a stalemate currently. Both players are not really eager to try to push out. Trying to stay defensive. Not much is going on, even though a lot of infantry is on the field.
I think he's going to wait for all of this to pop. He's got the bars, he runs in, throws multiple grenades. If he can out-micro Ray and just cause either a squad wipe or even just like heavy health damage, then yeah, I think it's really good. This scout car is going to have to be careful now because obviously there's a lot of infantry with grenades. When they start getting veterancy, which only one has currently, potentially then you're going to start seeing sprinting moves. Multiple grenades could be a danger to the scout car.
Flamer Pioneer, it's not getting focused. Grenadier, Nate get revealed. However, Ray dodged them quite nicely. I don't know, man. 2-1 has no counter currently on the field. Tushka could unlock the AT gun. Has Captain also on the field. But it's hard to get the snare off on the 2-1 against Ray. Ray is incredibly quick.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be protecting that. It's a bit wasted, though, I feel, firing at the building at the moment. Obviously not dealing a lot of health damage to those in cover. But here comes the AT drop, center of the map.
Yeah, Ray is expecting that. He saw the plane, or at least I assume he saw it. We have Med Bunker on the way for Ray. He built it halfway and then forgot to continue it. I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that. AT-Gun obviously has a hard time on this map. It's a big map, so 2-1 with the proper micro should always be in a position where the AT-Gun is not.
Yeah, I think if anything, it will just sort of threaten the scout car's ability to dive, especially if he doesn't know where the AT gun is. I like the fact that Kaiser is prepared to walk it quite far up the field. I definitely get a sense here that Ray's going to have to start picking now where he goes on the map. I think with the amount of infantry out there, he's not going to be able to fight 3 corners of this map. He's going to have to maybe dive on 2 VPs, sit for a while, and get some later game tech out.
All right. Apparently, in-game sound was off, and chat didn't bother to tell me until now, but it should be back now.
Thanks, chat. We love you.
So we have 3 bar riflemen, double barred up. I love that you can actually see that now on the unit card that they have the second bar.
Advanced weaponry will soon be available.
With the plus.
It's one of the many improvements of Poe 3.
Yeah, man. Do you know if Ray, or also known as Asha, back in the days played Co-1? Chat is asking. You were more known in the
Don't
Co-1
remember him
domain?
in Co-1, if I'm honest. Yeah. But I mainly came in at the start of Co-2, so I wouldn't know, especially with name changes, because obviously people changing names across the games, I haven't kept track of that.
Fair enough. I always try to keep up with like people who are around since forever, but yeah, name changes make it really hard.
Yeah.
And also access to information
you just
is
telling
hard.
me then that Ray is Asher, I was like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Fair enough. So we have a Jäger on the field with Veterancy 1, and Tushkan also has a Veterancy 1, so Ray went for officer quarters in tier 2. And yeah, the Riflemen have no tough task ahead of them. However, they have already double bars, also have Veterancy 1, but still, Jägers use their Veterancy 1, the slow ability. Such an amazing ability, man.
That's a very good ability. And I see a few problems here for the Riflemen, because it's a big statement to bring out 4 Riflemen, but Ray will absolutely know that if he can get a few squads of Jaegers out with these upgraded rifles, he's going to absolutely be able to counter that at range before the bars take effect. So
yeah, AT gun was out of position. Man, it took the long way back. 2-1 was so uncontested for such a long time. Greyhound is now in the queue, but the full Rifleman start didn't really translate into more map control. And now it's really hurting his manpower economy.
You got to think though, with an army that big, you should just be able to dive everything on one area, secure it, and then move to the next area. You know, I feel bad saying that because it's a playstyle I hate. Tushkan, by the way, I think he just brought Greyhound out onto the field, and really interesting that he feels he's had to go for that when we thought perhaps he was going to go for his rush tech into tier 4 like Sherman, but no, he has.
Yeah, maybe to contest it 2-1. I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Enemy forces have captured a
I'm not a huge fan of Tushkan's strategy. It doesn't synergize with his battle group pick. But I might be wrong. Obviously, he's the way better player than I am. 2-1 already getting Panzerbüchse upgrade. It will help though. Riflemen won't bleed anymore.
Now raid enemy territory and victory point lost.
In the meantime, Tushkan is getting advanced logistics, so cheaper reinforcements on the Riflemen.
Sectors are isolated.
Yeah, just saying, by the way, Alvadi, like he's got to win to actually, you know, be that great player. Like you're well within your rights to criticize what you see.
Alarms! All victory.
Yeah, it's just sometimes that really good players do weird things. It takes some time to realize why they're doing that. So
Well, it's fine to do it when no one's watching, but this is, in fact, the semi-finals of a tournament, and we're all watching. You better put on a good show.
we have Stuckkollen with Stoßtruppen, and also with Stoßtruppen on the field, Riflemen will have an incredibly hard time. By the way, also means Ray went for mech.
Yeah, it's nice. Good choice. I think it gives him a nice strong late game.
Stuck really good against single AT guns.
They just, to have this many riflemen on the field with the bars, it just hasn't made advantage of that window at all. And just like you said, this is going to start getting really, really hard now, especially with the Stoßtruppen on the field. You're not going to be able to win these engagements because you've got to get sort of medium to close range with the bars, and the Stoßtruppen are just going to melt these squads before they get anywhere near.
Yeah. Stuck also really good against AT guns or against single AT guns.
Has taken a victory point.
And I don't see Tushkan having any proper answer to that. He needs to get a second AT gun, but he's bleeding so much manpower.
AT gun did just have sights on this scout car, but missed the shot. Really, really unfortunate.
And then bounced on the Stuck.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
Yeah, man, if you're unlucky and that bad RNG comes into the mix. Breach! I like that we see no breach more and more. It went from being a joke ability to something actually players use.
Yeah, it's a little bit too quick sometimes. You know, you get that familiar thing where it's like, You do breach, the person jumps out. Then they breach you, and then you jump out. Then you throw the grenade, they get out. They throw the grenade, you get in.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
Jaeger will be available shortly.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. The good old...
Produce some funny moments in games, I feel like.
A squad of Jaeger.
To be fair though, I think breach could be nerfed that... You don't lose any ammo if no grenades are thrown, right? So if you leave the building before the grenades are out, the player gets his ammo back that he invested. And I think that shouldn't be the case. So...
I think this world is free. Except breach, apparently. I agree, that should change.
And Stuk is doing so much damage, forcing off the units on the flanks. We have already veterans who want on the Stoßtruppen. And with Ray always keeping a Grand close by, probably for merch. It's really unhealthy for the riflemen to push in.
Really like this though, you got some riflemen approaching just north of the Stoßtruppen. Cheeky grenade coming over the wall where Ray's game sense is just unbeatable.
Yeah. Second AT gun is definitely something Tushkan needs.
Initiating rollout of long-range spotting scopes to our vehicles. Bastards have secured our territory from us.
Tushkan
Alright.
is, so both players by the way on a steady plus 23 fuel income. Ray has got so much fuel in the bank, 204 now. You know, compared to Tushkan who had to go for that sort of tier 3 tech. It's a little bit of a way away from getting anything out on the field that's going to help him deal with Ray's infantry and the Stug. But what I think more interesting is now that Ray seems to have the advantage pick here, what's he going to go for first?
Looks like a Panzergrenadier company. Tier 3 backtack for AT guns. I'm not sure if that's the right call. Tushkan invested so much into infantry, has double AT gun on the field, has nearly 70 pop. I don't think you need to backtack into an AT gun. By the way, Ray nearly transferred all of all his grants into Jaegers.
Yeah,
Oh, 2-1 goes down.
Scout car.
Sorry to interrupt you there,
Oh, no problem.
but 2-1 is gone now.
Yeah, I do think the Jaegers are going to be the real problem maker for the US Riflemen. Keep seeing that play out. Although I have to say, the way Tushkan's playing at the moment, I get more of an uneasy feeling now when I'm looking at Ray's army. He's trying to make use, and I think he's going to do a lot of micro with the Stug because he just has to go constantly from VP to VP to VP. And now there's 2 AT guns that are going to threaten it when it does sort of get out of position. Greyhound's actually doing some decent work as well. Whenever it finds sort of like a lone squad, is just picking it off, forcing it back to base. So map control's starting to go in favor of Tushkan now.
Arc deployed.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced by the backtack. Greyhound gets nared, but there's no real danger, so it should be fine.
Lost control.
Making the game even more, or yeah, decreasing the speed of the game, as I like to call it, with backtacking into AT gun, feels like that's something that Tushkan really want to see. Now his riflemen can compete on the flanks, because Ray has nothing for holding the flanks. Unless Tushkan... Nope.
Rapid response. Light artillery.
Not even the tech moving there, so Stuck got the time to get away.
The Stoßtruppen, by the way, have been upgraded with the STG-44
Oh my
assault
god,
rifle, so-
the meme upgrade. How to make the best anti-infantry... Oh, Stuck gets picked, double AT are doing their job. But now converted the best anti-infantry unit into the worst.
It's an interesting, choice.
Oh, the DPS was off from Ray. Why is he doing that? Oh, that was really... You know, I rarely call out people like that, but I feel like every time I see the STG upgrade on the stores, something inside of me dies. Such a bad upgrade.
I feel
Victory
it. I
point is
feel
under
it.
enemy control.
By the
They
way,
have shock assault ability, but I just don't think this is somewhere it's going to be that effective.
it's so hard to get into ambush positions also, like... It feels so unnatural to play them like that, while this
Infantry will not
base
be
version
reinforced
is...
without your permission.
You don't have to put any thought into how to play them. But yeah.
I mean, I guess when you do have 3, Jaeger squads that are upgraded, they're sort of going to provide the long range, and perhaps he's just going to use this as the unit to sort of run and cap now.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty costly one because, again, if you've got a Greyhound on the field and you're sort of running that unit through the front lines and the Greyhound's picking it off, it's
Our
really
infantry will be
expensive
reinforced
reinforcement.
automatically.
Yeah, especially with only 1 grenadier now left, so you can't really merge in the base anymore with 1 gren.
We do
I'm not
hold
sure if I like it. By the way, Murder water from Tushkan. Tushkan is just, I don't care about tanks. I just get infantry on support weapons. He's nearly pop capped. Like 20 pop cap is still free, but it doesn't feel like he will take up. He got advanced logistics already. Does he have survival training? Nope.
Our frontline pioneers are dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ray did the right move there. Backtack into an AT gun. I know he needs something to contest the Greyhound, but I still feel like a tier 4 attack with P4 would have done the job better. Well,
Yeah, I think it's painful. And to be honest, anything he brings out now, especially on the fuel income he's got, the 2 AT guns, they've already been stacking up, getting veterancy. They're going to be able to utilize abilities and stuff and pretty much counter anything that comes out this late.
yeah.
22 minutes with no tier 4 is quite a time not to have tier 4.
Our adversary is
Tier
pushing
4,
back.
tier 4
We
though
are down
for
to
Tushkan on the way.
250 points.
Would you get a Sherman or a Hellcat? Like, anti-infantry wise, he is fine with 4 riflemen. One is already vet free, all of them have double bars.
I think at this point it would be Sherman or Bulldozer, but
Yeah.
probably knows there's a threat of a Panther, but again, is it that threatening when you've got all this infantry and the 2 AT guns? I don't think so.
Yeah, P4 now on the way for Ray. I think Ray rather wants to build an Roomba, but he's still afraid of what Tushkan is planning. In the meantime, Ray's really boxed into his corner. He's getting on a AT gun, the same issue that Tushkan had earlier. The AT gun is just running around, meanwhile the Greyhound is already somewhere else. It's never in a position where it should be.
Panzer IV is field ready.
However, P4 hits now the field.
Enemy forces have secured all victory points. 200
And
points
AT gun will get a shot on the Greyhound. Greyhound has to fall back or not. AT gun is now threatened. Tushkan though not applying more pressure. And the STG boys are doing nothing.
It is, yeah, no.
I don't want to sound mean, but they're really not that good, kids.
Give the guy a break and stop looking at the stuff stripping off body. What you get? There's a dislike on this video. It's Ray.
Before gets double AT gun shots in, will fall back though. However, Ray lost his second Pioneer from earlier, so repair time will be a little bit slower for him. Grenadier capping on the side, and it looks like that Ray was able to get back onto the field. Tushkan cued the Sherman.
I gotta say, it doesn't look very good for Ray.
Nah.
Wifty currently still in the bank for Tushkan, so Yeah, I think whatever happens, whatever the build is from Ray, Tushkan's given himself a lot of time to think and provide a counter for it. So difficult times at the moment.
Yeah. We have double AT gun, or the double AT gun getting into position. And Sherman is on the field, smokes the retreat path for the AT guns. It feels like a little bit of an overreaction, but it's fine. And the Horde is coming back on the front line. Grants, our riflemen are everywhere. Oh, and double AT gun will get a nice volley out. Oh, with special rounds, that might be a goner.
We have lost that Panzer IV.
Bye bye P4. Jesus.
Enemy forces
Yeah,
have
it's good
captured
play.
a victory point.
I get the Panzer IV choice because it's good versus infantry, but I think, you know, the other two options he has available in the Panther and the Brumba both have much higher armor and could perhaps bounce a few of those shots, making it maybe a little bit of a safer play. P4 had no armor skirts on as well, you know, just due to resources available. So a really unfortunate situation for Ray.
No armored skirts? Chat? Yeah, I think Brumba, like, he already backtagged for AT gun, so he shouldn't be afraid of tank. Brumba would have done the same job, but be more consistent and had more survivability. And yeah, you guys are doing hit veterans very free, and though they're becoming really, really strong.
If only it were minute 13 and not minute
Yeah.
27, I would be a little more optimistic. about
Yeah,
how it's going.
the time is running out. And Ray invested to a Panther against the Sherman, man. That feels like desperation mode. Like, the Panther won't solve the anti-infantry firepower problems that he has. Oh boy. I don't know. Feels like Ray has too many problems to solve and too little time to do so. By the way, the Stoßtruppen in the middle are not in camo, but they're on hold fire, so they're going home.
They're not having a good day, are they?
Yeah, man.
We have been granted a Panther tank. The enemy
It's
has
basically
taken a victory
impossible
point.
now to play any camo unit because of the 35 detection range change. Like, you can't make any meaningful ambushes.
Yeah, it's
The
and it
enemy
takes longer
holds
to
all
cover
victory points.
when you can. Definitely things to consider.
Increase security around the HQ. We are down to 100 points.
100 piece remaining for Ray. Triple cap is running in to Tushkan's favor. Double AT gun are already in position. Panther will get a warm welcome, at least against the bounce. Bye bye, Scout. I want to point out that Tushkan barely get any waves. I think that was the first wave in the whole game for him. Not
Something
bad.
like that, yeah.
Minute 28, no infantry wipes until now. That's really, really well played. Greyhound is in position, gets smoked off. And airburst mortar coming down. Greyhound gets chased off by the Panther.
50 points remain for us. You must do something.
And we have some off-map coming down in the middle. Captain Dan bites the dust, and the off-map will do nothing. Sherman coming around. One rifleman will die. 44 VP still left, and I don't think there's anything to be done.
Don't see this lasting too much longer. I mean,
No.
fair play absolutely has showed the power of the Jaeger infantry there, but it's just so late. So little left to go on. Panther's pretty much trapped now in the north. I don't even think it's going to be able to easily make it back to base. Could be looking at GG here.
Yeah, Ray will probably play till 0 VPs. You want to get any possibility of VP advantage in the future, but I don't think anything will happen. Grenade assault from the Stoßtruppen will do a little bit of damage. 2 models, not bad. Greyhound will get away, Sherman will soon be ready as well. And no merge from Ray. No merge now. It's a little bit late and they're really low HP.
He just grenaded his own model.
Yeah, he did.
Our anti-tank gun is out of commission.
Yeah, double cap, 14 VPs remaining. Ray won't bleed any VPs anymore from Tushkan. Not gonna happen. AT gun even gets recruited.
Brace yourself! We are down to only 10 points!
10 VPs left. Yeah, feels like GG.
Yeah, I can't see any way back from this, and that's a great amount of VPs, like you were saying, to go ahead with for Tushkan.
Tushkan would need to lose his whole army right now to lose the game, and even then I'm not sure if that would be possible. Yeah, and it's 1-0 for Mr. Tushkan.
GG.
GG, well played. I really like how close the top 4 became in the recent years. Like, it was for such a long time, no one was even able to pick off a single game from Ray. And slowly we are moving into a territory where Ray can't be too comfortable. But
yeah, I no longer see the 100 plus win streak from Ray when I open the 1v1 leaderboards. I was like, as US at the time, I think the weakest.
140, I think.
Goodness me. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good to see players that can stand up to that, and comfortably as well, because I think what Tushkan did there was he seemed to have a build which was working for him. So you could sort of see from the start, like he knew what he wanted to do, and he just went ahead with it. You know, we looked like he was giving away a lot of territory control to Ray in the early game, but then stick with it because you know the late game is going to be fantastic, and it worked. And I really like that. I like that people have got builds that they're working with that they believe in. Yeah, a really good game to showcase that. Definitely not a great game for showcasing the Stoßtruppen and Assault upgrade package, though. I don't think we're going to see that on any of the play mechanized trailers.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with game number 2 in a couple of seconds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2. We are back on Road to Tunis, and we have Mr. Ray as the Brits. I did forget to set up this. So, band seconds there. We have Ray as the Brits. And on the other side, we have Mr. Tushkan as the Wehrmacht. And joining me today is Mr. Stormless. How are you doing, my friend? And what are we seeing? What are we expecting?
Very good. Well, after seeing a loss from Ray in game 1, we switched factions. Tushkan playing Wehrmacht, I think, is fairly a good choice. High win rate in 1v1 at the moment. Both players, by the way, going straight into battle groups. Breakthrough battle group for Tushkan, Polish cavalry battle group for Ray. So probably both with a preset strategy they want to play here. Nice to see sometimes, you know, players going straight in with a commander. I think Polish cavalry is a really good choice because it's got something for like all stages of the game that's pretty decent. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if we see MP40 grants. We don't see them that often anymore, but a man can hope, a man can dream.
I don't know on this map though.
Yeah. There
is like a couple of houses and walls sort of north of the mid VP where it might be fun to play, but then the rest of the map I think would be absolute disaster. And we've already seen, you know, the Stoss Troop and Assault package go down horrendously. So
Yeah.
I think Tushkan's going to be like, no way am I picking anything close range.
Some wire coming down in the middle from Tushkan. Even though he wired off the truck. It looks weird though, I'm not sure what advantage it will offer to him. Because he basically wired off his own cover. Okay. We will see, maybe there's something coming. Royal Engine in the middle, get caught off guard. Lose a model by building the sandbag. And third Grenadier on the way from Tushkan, nothing unusual there. We have double Royal Engineer start and double infantry section from Ray. I'm glad to see more British action in 1v1 tournament. A little bit of variety always feels awesome. And tells the story that people are slowly able to break away from Wehrmacht against USF all day, all week long.
Brits have such a lovely gameplay style, I feel, in this game. Still the all-rounder faction, I think, so a lot of options available to them. One thing I'm really liking at the moment, and I'm just seeing tons and tons of build orders for wire. So Ray's just sort of sitting pretty behind some cover options in the middle, but he's making sure that when Tushkan comes to the south side of the map, like there are very, very little options for him to get to cover with Brens. And that's going to be really great for the Tommies.
Flamer from both players. However, Royal Engineer Flamer is slightly stronger due to the base squad. Oh, one Royal Engineer will bite the dust for sure.
We've lost contact with our
Really bad retreat path there. In the meantime, though, Tushkan is taking some fire damage in the building. Could have been easily avoided. And I'm not sure if Ray took a good engagement over here. He loses a lot.
Jumped on the other side of the wall. Really unfortunate.
Yeah.
damnation. The sector's in enemy hands.
Tushkan in the meantime getting officer quarters. Again for Grenadier build order. Tier 2 coming up from Ray. He went for strategic target, I think it's called. Or designate? I have no idea how this ability is called. Chat knows that, so it's okay.
Which one? Sorry, you talking about the British one?
Yeah, the British one.
Vengeance.
Vengeance. Man.
I should have lied. Oh, I should have told you it was something else.
Oh, you get plenty of opportunity to do so. I never know the names of the abilities, which are rarely picked.
Heroic shout. I wonder if anyone here gets that reference.
The beggars are threatening a
I get it,
point.
because you told earlier about
I
that.
told you, yeah.
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 Oh.
Victory point.
So, early MGs... Yeah, go ahead.
Control.
I was going to say, you got your early MG play in this game.
Yeah. But I'm
How are you
not...
feeling about it?
I don't like the Vickers early, man. It's always for me a mid-game unit. Because you lose so much capping power with a faction that already has poor capping power. I don't know.
I think what's nice is, like, if it's in the right position and you've got Grens in cover, it can deal decent health damage to the Grens in cover. But if he's lost that second engineer now, so he can't do this whole thing of, like, firing with the MG, running in with the engineers to sort of flame out or get close range for sort of close range weapons damage. So, yeah, I feel like now his build is sort of not doing him any favors. But we do have a Humbar building.
Yeah, we have tier 2 from Tushkan.
Enemy ground
He could
forces
afford a
have claimed
2-1
the
nom.
sector.
Humbar has an amazing timing though, so it will be really annoying to deal with for Tushkan. It feels like Ray is just trying to buy time until he can call in the Polish land, so though. We have a brand upgrade on the infantry section.
We're losing a victory point.
And Humbar's on the field, 2-1 is in the queue. Humbar will be such an annoying unit, man.
Enemy has our victory points now.
He's got to be careful to position it. Occasionally, just like one of these shots is hitting the green cover wall there, and I feel like when you have this unit, you've got to be sort of angling it in ways where the spread of these shots are not going to hit shot blockers.
That's actually a really valid point.
You can sort of see it in the south at the moment. You can even see it on the Quaxwell MG as well. It's like some of the shots just get absorbed by rocks and stones, and absolutely have to be considering that when you place it.
Inf training on the way for Ray. No, he cancelled it. And look how red the map is. Tushkan is really pushing map control advantage. He unlocked rapid production now. And yeah, however, Tushkan is fully off the map, or nearly fully off the map, so Ray can recap the map. And as expected, Polish Lancers are on the field. Such a cool unit, even though has, in my opinion, slight overturned stats at the moment. But I will keep my unprofessional opinions to me, Kappa. And Tushkan investing even more into infantry. Jaeger is on the way.
Oh, Vadi, if you kept your unprofessional opinions to yourself, you wouldn't be casting.
A little bit of trash talk towards the game is always a little bit healthy. Keeps the pain manageable. Kappa. 2-1. Tries to get a shot on the Humber. Humber falls back. And yeah.
Sort of nice and balanced at the moment. I like what I'm seeing. Just probing. They're having a few skirmishes here and there. We haven't seen any like really deep dives. I just feel like Ray is holding ground. He's got sort of like the resources he's comfortable with having at the moment, and it's just about mirroring the movements of the scout car, mirroring some of the positioning of the grenadiers, just preventing any more territory going in the opposite direction. But I mean, I like it, and it's interesting to see where it's going. Infantry training by way for Ray, so he's only got the two Tommy squads, plus obviously Polish Lancers, but he's going to be giving them some boosts, which we like to see.
Oh, definitely. It's interesting how Ray is able to keep map control. He's in a slight disadvantage, I would say, but still he's able to keep still a decent map control, considering that he only has like 3 mainline infantry squads. And that's an impressive feat, especially against 5 infantry squads from Tushkan.
We must counterattack.
I really hope we are going to see later some Firefly, Tiger engagements.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Jaeger inside of the building in the middle. Grants are all back healing. Mad Bunker coming up from Tushkan. And Humber's back on the action. We have an AT gun on the way for Ray. It feels like he needs one more Polish maybe, but he wants to play it safe, so AT gun next. Maybe he's expecting a Wirbelwind rush. 2-1 now switching into the middle.
I do think he probably feels he has to have some form of an AT option here. I think whether or not you really can fully predict your opponent's build or not, to be approaching the 11-minute mark without reliable penetrating AT is a risk.
Yeah, I totally agree. Minute 12 or minute 11 is where you expect the first tanks.
You know it's a potential that he's teched that way.
Tank weapon and crew on the field.
And at the very least, because he is playing quite a defensive game, the presence of that AT is going to make the scout castle diving in for the Humber it'll be negated.
Yeah, true. So Humber though is helping with map control, which means even with the low mainline infantry count of Tushkan, he is able to maintain map control well. Meanwhile, Royal Engineer is doing some good old mine sweeping with their feet. That's the pain, right? If you lose, if you play double.
Way.
Yeah, the historic way, exactly. as I used to say in Code 2, the Soviet way. Ray is rebuilding the last Royal Engineer to get a sweeper.
It's amazing how one mine
To the
can
enemy.
affect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, I've got to build a minesweeper, I've got to invest 30 munitions. Yeah, we always used to say mines win games.
Oh, good old mines. We have a little bit of on the field.
So it had actually been a good choice, a good prediction for the 6-pounder.
We have no snares, no. So only one AT gun could get overrun
Grenades are being distributed to
if
the men.
Ray is not careful. However, he has already nades in the queue.
Territory sector.
Just want to say, by the way, we had the central building that's garrisoned by Ray at the moment, and when the grenades get thrown on the building, you know, really good from Tushkan, he threw it towards the building exit that's on the north side, but Ray just sort of held form for a moment and made sure he got out the side of the building that the grenade was not landing on. So really sort of top level vision in the game to make sure they didn't.
Oh, Wilberwind is green. Is going all in. 2-1 is coming in. AT gun will be bypassed. However, snares are ready. Oh, I think that was a little bit too greedy for Tushkan.
Ouch! Well, I think if you're Ray right now, you've got to be thinking, hey, like, this is my moment to lose the scout car, and that, like, Humber's just got absolute free reign at the moment. You know, he's performing really well, infantry to infantry, with 30 kills for 28 between the two players. So, this is Ray's time.
Yeah, Tushkan queuing a Marder. And I don't think Marder is something Tushkan wants to get again. Like, getting a Marder against a Humber kind of tells a story that you're not feeling well. Oh.
That's one way of putting it. Yep.
Yeah. Marder will be so hard to play against. Polish Lancers and an AT gun on the field. Marder has so little HP.
Yeah, I mean, again, I guess he probably feels he's got to have some form of AT out, just to maybe put a little bit of a threat out to the Humber and make it feel like it can't be all over the map in the way that it wants to. But Ray, I think, will know better than that. Marder's just too slow, too cumbersome to actually really do anything effective here, so... Does he want to convert a squad to a Jaeger squad and put the Panzerschreck on it?
I don't know. I would go rather Jägerschreck than Marder, though. It's not ideal, I'm aware of that, but at least it has some mobility to keep up with your infantry, and it's not as vulnerable to AT guns as the Marder.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have any potential on the fuel point it's currently sitting on.
Yeah.
Ray's now going for company command post, so 64 fuel plus 23 income. He feels it's about the right time to start getting the heavy tanks out.
You have 3 victory point under enemy control.
Oh, Nate was out. Forces of the World 3 infantry. Oh, nearly wipes the Grendo with the artillery. With the on-map, with the Recce artillery.
By the way, Lancers are coming up on that Marder. It's a really unfortunate timing because the Jaeger have just forced off the AT gun, but the Lancers have just come in and totally pushed that Marder off back to base.
Yeah, Humber can then... Like, this one Polish Lancer zones out the Marders completely, so the Humber can deal with the infantry.
The enemy has pushed us back from our sector.
Is Ray recovering, by the way, any of those downed models so far? I haven't seen them yet.
No, some of the ones I've seen earlier, there's still corpses on the ground, so... Oh, he's doing one now.
Ah.
RP3 rocket launchers.
Such good ability. It forces some micros, so it's not a passive. I like that a lot. Mother switching sides, trying to support infantry. But we have a Crusader in the queue.
We're losing a victory point to enemy
It's still the case, though, that, you know, as good as Ray's done taking advantage of that really poor dive with the sorry, the verbal wind and the scout card, but his army is still pretty immobile at this point. It's quite slow, especially due to the presence of the MG.
A-15 Crusader
So he's still playing, I feel, quite defensively. A lot of units in one area. Potentially something that Tushkan can exploit.
Yeah, MG42 now on the way from Tushkan to offer some crowd control. We have a second Jäger on the field. Is Tushkan stalling into Tiger? I hope not. Because he will die on the way there. Like the Wirbelwind loss pushed Tushkan so behind.
We're losing a
He was such a dominating position, but now he's barely able to hold any map.
I mean, I still can't really figure out why that push went ahead.
Yeah, I think he like felt like, oh, that's the perfect position to go in, but he
By the way,
kind
the
of.
sort of artillery is hitting Tushkan right outside his base.
Yeah.
Has just sent
We have
4
munitions
squads
ready to be used,
retreating back to
Commander.
base. It's so excruciating because time at the moment is not on Tushkan's side. One thing I think is at least a positive, he's already taken Ray down to a lower amount of VPs than in game 1. So, you know, if this becomes a draw after 2 games, Tushkan's still in a good place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to keep the ace game always in your head. It's just so hard, man. The Marder now has to deal with 2 vehicles on the field. And Tushka needs to get the second Marder now. Otherwise he's running into the risk that the Marder will just get overwhelmed.
No, I don't think it's going anywhere. Especially when you're fighting out from this side of the map. Like, there's a lot of green cover now that Ray can make use of. So, you know, even if Tushkan's coming out of his base, it's taking a long time to displace those units in cover. He doesn't have a lot of flanking options available. And now he's got the VP pressure to deal with as well.
I think
That's
VP's are the
too
least
much
of his
longer.
problems currently. He's barely able to leave his base. Oh, by the way, that 5 Sepper might go down. Nope. Until second Crusader is on the field. Yeah, Tushkan, you are base pinned and you won't leave it anytime soon. How much CP is the Tiger?
Victory point.
11?
Tiger is 11, yeah.
11. So it's even far off. He's at 7, or nearly at 7.
Victory point.
So stalling for Tiger isn't really an option.
Sorry, Tiger's 10, not 11.
Oh, 10. Even 10 is too far away. Second Marder's on the way for Tushkan. It's needed, but I'm not sure if it's the right call. So yeah.
Report just in. Enemy have 300 points left.
I don't know.
You do.
I do, okay.
You know.
I do know. It's GG. It's GG. Oh, the Crusaders! The damage of the Crusaders. At least
Just waiting this
Tushkan
play
is
out.
winning the fashion war with the left behind skin package. The desert pink of the Crusaders is not my favorite with skin. But I'm really trying to think how Tushkan can make a comeback into this game, but I don't see it happening. He's so basement Ray. Yeah, he throws in the
They're on
towel.
the run. Smashing work.
Alright. GG, well played.
Yeah, GG.
Any final
Interesting
thoughts?
Well, I mean, that's just Company of Heroes, isn't it? Like, sometimes you feel the moment's right, you dive in with some units hoping for big impact, but, you know, it's great with Ray. You know, he displayed really good control in the game, good defensive play. He got the right techs he needed for if that occasion happened. He was ready with the snares, ready with the positioning, the AT gun. So, yeah, GG. I think it's just the way of things.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we will be back with game number 3 in a sec. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 3. We are on Langres. We have Mr. Ray as the Wehrmacht. On the other side, we have Mr. Tushkan as the USF. And Langres, small map, can easily turn into a snowball if you're not careful. But which means it's a high intensity, high impact map. You are better on your toe or you going home. Do you like this map, my dear friend Stormless?
I love this map. I'm really, really happy that it's been in every Company of Heroes game in the franchise. But it is it's a strong map for a reason. Like, it has cutoffs that are quite close to the base, so you get high risk, high reward for doing that. But you know, it's wide enough, big resource points on the outside of the map, and then you sort of fight in the center for the munitions. So I really like the layout of it. Every game it's been slightly different. So I think, you know, the difference between this and Code 2, for some reason, I think it feels less hilly. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like, it feels like the topography is slightly different. And a few different green cover placements throughout the center of the map. But yeah, just a classic.
I know it's a controversial map. Some really love it, some hate it because of how it plays out. But I like it because it has such a different playstyle to all other maps.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like, classically, I've seen so many games on this map in different versions of Co, and I think the last time I cast this game was like the Soviets building B4 and just like bombing someone else's base across the map, and that used to be one of the issues. Is like this quite a small one of the smaller maps. It feels that way sometimes base to base, so you could get away with pulling off some strats like that. But right now, I think that's really hard to do, and what you do end up getting is sort of you either play like light vehicles left and right of the map, or you know, you're playing into like a heavy vehicle spearheading and then some infantry skirmishes outside. But it's just really nice to play. There's so many options with this map.
Oh yeah, I agree. So far, not much is going on, though. Both players are playing pretty defensively, keeping their respective sides. Ray is trying to go into a higher gear, but yeah, he will deny the cap of the 10-pointer, I feel like. He has the MG now inside of the building. Can he shoot at the Pioneer? No. However, he will deny the cap, and that's a huge advantage now. Tushkan will be behind 10 fuel.
He hasn't even capped his cutoff point.
Oh!
So it makes little difference at this point.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's happened to Tushkan's start game, because like his capping order was really weird there.
Man down! He's dead!
Yeah, cap orders are sometimes a little bit wanky on this map, because people can't decide if they want to play aggressive or defensively, and then they do something in between, and then they get nothing. However, MG42 is in a decent position, will get outflanked though by the Jeep.
Grenadiers have been mustered from
I hope he's careful with that Jeep. I mean, he's picked Armored Battle Group. I'm assuming that Jeep's going to be a capping unit when it gets to Vet 1, and I just feel like if that goes down for any reason right now, it's going to be problematic.
Grenades on the way for Tushkan. Let's see if Ray smells the bait. He dodged. Refman is doing the dodge nicely. MG has to retreat. Grenades are ready. Now MG retreats now. Perfect opportunity for a retreat. Nate Tushkan is setting himself up for that. Oh boy. Bye bye MG.
We have been cut off.
Did he body block there, or was that just me?
I don't think you can body block in Cove 3.
No, I know, but I'm like...
But it looked like that.
Yeah, it looked like he almost guided the MG into the grenade. Well, whatever happened, it worked out pretty well for him.
That was really, really well done. That was incredibly well done.
Those are the kind of plays that really do make top-level players, you know,
that makes
beauty to watch.
Yeah, that's why we watch high-level Cove 3. Like, retreat nades and so on. That's what really, really nice. So, by the way, Tushkan has an engineer with a sweeper, so the first mine of Ray will get sweeped.
Dropping like flies here. Grenade! Fuck!
Nade exchange on the ammo cutoff or fuel cutoff. Then went into Tushkan's favor though. But it's so hard to deal with an MG42 on this map, man.
The enemy has claimed our sector.
He lost the scout?
Well, Ray's building a scout car at the moment. Ray's
scout
got
car.
really good fuel income. He's just dropped from plus 28 to plus 18, but Tushkan's been on plus 8 fuel income for
Scout car
at least the
available
last
for
minute.
reconnaissance.
So early games are really, really difficult for him. I think he's probably still going to feel like he's going to get forced into playing tier 3 here for a Greyhound.
Oh boy. The Jeep though has veterans tier 1 now. The biggest problem though for Tushkan is, or USF problem is, with old fuel it's hard to get into the AT gun because tier 3 is so incredibly expensive. Maybe backtaking into tier 2 for a Zook squad might be the cheaper option. I don't know. But the 2-1 will be a big
Sector
problem.
now under enemy control.
Oh yeah, massive problem. And again, there's just no sign at all right now of a counter from Tushkan. He's just at the mercy of this marauding beast. He's just picking off things, forcing retreats. And we talked a little bit earlier, you know, about these deep cutoff points, but that's twice now I've seen Ray go for the plus 8 munitions cutoff outside Tushkan's base, and the resource game has been phenomenal from Ray in the early game.
Yeah. However, Tushkan was able to stabilize. Let's see if the 2-1 has the option to tip the scale into Ray's favor, or he's just able to retain the status quo. Because against units in cover, 2-1 isn't that great, so Tushkan could try to stall out. He even didn't tag infantry support center, so AT is even further away. Oh boy, that's really uncomfortable. Jeep will go down.
It feels familiar to his build from game 1. You know, he went for the 4 riflemen at the start, and I think maybe he deviated slightly after picking up the MG42, but it is a really delayed tech, and off the back of very, very minimal fuel income. Ray's going for that cutoff point again, by the way.
MG42 defends it though. We have 20mm flak on the way for Ray. Really good on this map, and it will help with the MG.
Grenadiers ready. Grenadiers ready, stand.
Yeah. Rifleman will get the cutoff, so Ray won't be able to connect the fuel point that he's capping. 2-1, however, switches side.
Vardy, I see a flak 30 in the build from Ray, and I think that's going to be really, really difficult for Tushkan to deal with.
Yeah, MG42 has to retreat.
He can get that.
Go down, will go down. And MG will get recaptured. And that's actually really bad for Tushkan. The only way how he was able to hold so much map was to stole MG, and now it's gone. Tushkan is trying to make it onto tier 3. He has tier 3 out. He could afford the Greyhound. He's queuing right away the Greyhound. He needs to survive a little bit longer, but it's not that easy.
Support elements underway.
And Ray's going for support elements. He has faster boys, so Greyhound will be out
Jaeger will be available shortly.
way faster. But still.
Jaeger light infantry on station.
Jaeger's on the field. with scopes, rifles.
Great choice. Standard choice at the moment, I think.
By the way, Tushkan always goes for the
Bastards have
upgrades the
secured
armored
our
skirts
territory from us.
and then eventually only the pintle. He feels like survivability is more important than damage output.
I think it's a good choice given the presence of the Flak 30.
Yeah. Would you upgrade the 2-1 now with the Panzerbüchse, or would you use the 20mm flag as a counter? As a soft counter and just
Look at the scout car and see how it's performed. There's 11 kills at the moment. Still plenty of infantry in the field. I think as long as it's around the Flak 30, or maybe not.
Flag 30 is it a world of pain though?
It is.
One more model needs to go down.
Point is being overrun.
Will it get inside of the base?
Supplies for us.
Yes.
Send them out.
However, map control is still a little bit wonky for Tushkan. Will
Initiate
change though
requisition.
soonish. Mortar on the way.
Victory point is under enemy control.
Well, the USF mortar is such a great counter against the 20mm flak, so I really like to see that. I loved liking it.
The enemy has cut us off. We have territory out of supply.
Panzerbüchse
Sector lost.
was upgraded, or will be upgraded. And yeah,
Assault packages are available for Grenadier Squad.
Chevy maybe next, or an AT gun. Probably AT gun would be the safer choice.
With the exception of the assault engineers and perhaps the late game that goes into Easy 8s, I feel like he's playing roughly the same build we saw in the first game. Why change it? It was so effective.
Yeah, I think he wanted to. Obviously, he had to play battle group wise a bit different. Battle group elimination, so you can't play the same battle group twice in a set.
Get yourselves patched up, Kinder.
But
We have no idea what's
He didn't really play anything from Airborne.
yeah,
To my
well,
recollection.
he picked it.
We just picked it to get it out of the way for the match series, I think.
Wirbelwind on the west, AT gun needs to be next. Let's see if the Tushkan wind bars next. Wow, the Wirbelwind will hit like a brick. Ground can't contest the Wirbelwind. Not gonna happen.
Wirbelwind is deploying to the
Ray's
field.
basically doing the same thing that Tushkan tried to do in game number 2. However, he's way more successful with it. Well, he will be more successful if the all-in dive succeeds.
I don't think he needs to dive, though. This is the thing. I mean, if he can just hold some map control for a while and make that
Victory
stable,
point lost.
rather than this sort of jumping we're seeing from left to right constantly. You know, give him some time to tech up.
I
If
think.
he
Oh, Scotland.
overextends, he's going to suffer the same fate. Grenades. Flak's in a bad position, though.
Oh, that's a gun of luck. And Tushkan has technically ammo to destroy it with a satchel. He can't take it. He needs to drop a satchel on it.
2 centimeter
If he
flak
takes it, he... Yeah, here we go. Satchel is out. That was the right call. AT gun is on the field soon.
taking panzer fire here.
Ray's flag micro wasn't the best, I have to admit though.
I get that feeling that he's just overextending himself a little bit. He's fantastic micro and really, really good unit control, but again, it is very, very hard to keep track of all these engagements when they're going on at the same time. I think
Yeah.
the timing just didn't work from there.
Territory sector lost.
AT gun is on the field, so Wirbelwind has a counter, but I think you need the second one just to be safe. Maybe wait till you have
Blitzkrieg tactics are available for vehicle crew.
Allied War Machine or
Victory
War
away.
Machine for cheaper tanks and get them full into tier 3 spam. Because I don't think Tushkan has the type to play for tier 3, tier 4. I don't see that happening. Or tier 3 spam and good old days. Or maybe bad days, depending on which end you were. Capo. So second Wirbelwind is on the field, or soon on the field with rapid production. It's 50% faster build time, if I remember correctly. So
That's an interesting choice. I think there's the potential for that to go wrong, actually, later in the game.
or 2-1 might go down to the Greyhound. Nope.
Wirbelwind on station.
Oh, AT gun is out of position.
The battle is in our favor. Secure our victory.
It went wrong for Tushkan. Oh boy.
Yeah. Seen a lot of punishment today from overextending.
Yeah. He wanted to kill the 2-1 so desperately. And now the worst thing could happen. A tier 2 player is able to steal an AT gun. No, he's really fine. No need to backtake into tier 3. You have the AT gun. And now it's looking really, really uncomfortable for Mr. Tushkan. I'm not even sure if he can leave the base. He's not even trying to.
Yeah, probably not. I was thinking maybe Ray decides to dive in there, but he's been probably a bit more cautious. Haven't seen what happened in the last game to his opponent. Be a good idea for him to just try and pick up his Ransoming squad in the north.
Yeah, the problem is the 180 gun will never stop the 2 Wirbelwinds. Critical mass.
Has free now to pick off the Greyhound as well. If the Greyhound goes down, I think that's going to be pretty demoralizing for Tushkan.
Yeah, and Tushkan frost in the towel.
The day is yours.
Oh, Jesus.
Great play though. And actually, even when you sort of dive into the stats, still very even across the board. In fact, every single game we've seen, they've been trading infantry pretty much like for like across the 3 games in the series.
Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in a couple of seconds. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 5 between Ray and Tushkan on Famine will approach. Game number 5, when we are just as game number 3. Yeah, that's true. However, game number 4 was counted as a loss for Ray due to picking a battle group twice. And with battle group elimination, that was breaking of the rules, and therefore game number 4 was counted as a win. And yeah, that's why we are going straight into game number 5. We have Ray as the US force.
Squad deployed.
On the other side, we have Mr. Tushkan as the Wehrmacht. What are we seeing? What are we expecting, my dear friend? Storm.
Well, straight away from Tushkan, he's gone into last stand, which great battle group to use there. We already see one squad of upgraded stub pioneers on the field. So interesting choice for this map. I mean, Famenville, fantastic map again. We've seen this from Company of Heroes 2, remade for this game by AE and K-Pen, and we've seen some of the best games in Company of Heroes casting history on this map, so it's really, really exciting to watch any game on this.
I'm so hyped. First of all, because Last Stand, my favorite Wehrmacht battle group currently, and to explain it once again, game number 4 won't be shown or casted, and it counted as a loss for Ray, because he picked a battle group twice. And due to the rules, battle group elimination, you can only play a battle group once per set. Means that it was counted as a loss instead of just DQing Ray. Which means
why you always read the rules and instructions, especially when Olvardi's at the helm.
My rule, yeah. Code 2 days, man, where I tried to make so complicated rules because I thought complicated rules will make the game less blobby and show more diversity. It instead just forced people being unable to understand what they should do. Good old days.
Well, I mean, in that case, we have a very, very tense fifth match where whoever wins this wins the series. So
Exactly. So last, we have Stern Pioneers, only 3 models, however high HP and decent damage with their G43s. And they get the 4th model once you get the upgrade. We have a low or 50% HP Rifleman, something you don't want to see that early into the game. Ray won't be too happy about that.
I do actually think that this map is quite a difficult opening for US because there is a lot of distance between, say, green cover to green cover, which I do feel benefits units like the Grenadiers. I think that's maybe why we see Ray coming in with a couple of squads close together to see if he can find an opening here. But as the game progresses, it does become more, it does become better for US. Great scope for AT guns and things because of the wide opening in the center of the map. So it just needs to hold out, keep some territory, don't lose anything. It's pretty key.
Yeah, but by the way, wonderful merge there from Tushkan to get the keep the Pioneers on the field as a high DPS squad, and it really worked out. Ray is kind of off the field, and map control is still shifting into Tushkan's favor. He is getting officer quarters now, and that will be really unpleasant. Veterancy advantage for Tushkan.
M1918 automatic rifles will be distributed to the men.
That's fast. Actually, I just seen that Ray has opted to go for bars very, very early.
We're up, boys. New recruits in. Rifles reinforced.
That's before he's even gone for any support center. So he won't be able to get the second bar on squads, but I think he feels that's necessary for him to start pushing some units off the map. Give him a little bit of extra firepower.
And Pioneer on the right hand side or top side has to retreat though with 50% HP. You can lose them easily on retreat.
But Tushkan says no.
I stay.
I will sit in this house. They have great bone china.
So,
Cup of tea.
yeah, chat is talking about battle group elimination. I think it's a valid criticism that with battle group bans that you might have only 1 or 2 battle groups available in the last game. However, the past has shown that players tend to play the same battle group over and over again, and this is kind of bad for the viewer experience. So players have to cope with being forced to play a bigger variety in battle groups.
It's probably worth noting as well, different tournaments trial different things, so, you know, everybody should be able to sort of host a tournament with rules they see fit, right?
Obviously, like, I don't say my rules are the best rules, I'm just saying that's the rules that I enjoy the most.
MG paradrops are available.
So STG, infrared STG on the Stern Pioneer. Bars are out.
Wonder if that Pioneer is going to make a safe enough retreat. Ray's bring the Rifleman squad onto the retreat path.
Oh, Stummel will have a free field day though. Ray only now getting infantry support center, and he's quite off from tier 3. However, he has airborne still left, so he could combat drop an AAT gun.
Crates of grenades are on their way, Doc.
And full retreat from Ray.
Infantry support center stocked and ready. And a captain has been assigned to you.
And yeah, infrared as Stern Pioneers with the infrared upgrade is so incredibly strong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very, very good choice to get that out as early as possible.
We've lost a scout squad. We have territory under
So it's
attack.
still bouncing all over the map at the moment, and Ray just hasn't been able to find a place where he can get a foothold. I'd be very interested to see what his next tech is, especially if he's gone for airborne. He should be able to drop the AT gun, but is he prepared to sit without a light vehicle like the Greyhound?
Snares are out for Ray. Kind of Ray revealing himself there with the sprint of the captain.
Territory lost.
Stummel will proc soon. Not sure if you actually need the upgrade, because the MG on the 250 is doing a lot of damage, and now you can plant Regal mines.
Yeah, it is very good actually.
AT gun paradrops are available in our
I do
sector.
think sometimes, especially with top players, is like you have a bit of muscle memory with these things. So sometimes you're not always making the decision for the match you're playing, but you just know that this is my build and I built this, and this is the time that I press that button. So
Exactly.
sometimes you can see decisions like that. But you can see there, especially with Ray, who's having to keep his units together in close proximity, roaming the field. It is doing the damage.
Oh, Stummel might get a snare. Oh, Stummel is dead. Bye-bye, Stummel.
Wow. Wow. Fantastic pickup. Really, really pickup. And by the way, I love this. This is classic Feynmanville playstyle, which is where you have the capacity to do so. You charge down the center, like base-to-base fight, and you just deny territory with these cut-off points, these choke points for resources.
Beginning improvements to our infantry logistics.
Let the bleed begin.
Yeah, I know with the loss of the Stummel, Tushkan has nothing to compete with the
Recon overflights available.
vetted up rifleman with bars. I'm not sure.
I like that we're continually sort of seeing use of merge and stuff from Grenadiers across the games. Got to get that merge there to keep
nice
that
merge.
squad high damage output.
Enhanced logistics will reduce the cost of reinforcing our forces.
But he now needs to retreat.
We have riflemen taking the field.
He did a lot of damage, but now with the Stern Pioneer off the field, he's once again in the way that he can't compete with the rifleman.
Rifles losing integrity.
We have a Panzer Grenadier though on the way for Tushkan. So,
Yeah, that's a decent choice.
are we going to see some last stand? He unlocked it. It does not synergize well with Panzer Grenadiers though. It synergizes way better with Jaegers, where the 20% bonus damage isn't a huge deal due to the long range engagement nature. Or that you take long range engagements anyway.
Let's go, boys. Man down.
We'll see how it plays out for him. May not even specifically be using it for that unit, but again, it's a bit of a high risk, high reward toggle ability. I really have to say though, I love the way that Ray's playing this, because as US, this is a really hard map to get control of at the beginning, but he's occupying Tushkan really, really hard right now with good presence from the bars on the right, and then just doing all this amazing capping with the recon squads, the slightly higher capping speeds, so it's a good strategy. And then his presence around these cut-off points is always really, really threatening to Tushkan, because he knows anywhere else he goes, he could just get, run in by one of these bars and lose that map control.
Yeah, we have, by the way, 5 riflemen on the field. Ray is now doubling down on the infantry side of things. We have survival training on the way.
Jesus H. Christ.
They're gonna cross all this open ground just to sort of get any shots on these bars and cover. It's a comfortable fight for Ray. And he's bringing in reinforcements.
Yeah, Sir Pioneer has to retreat though. So much firepower. Oh, Sir Pioneer! We'll make it home.
Training course is complete.
Ray dodges the nade. Panzer Grenadier needs to retreat. Might go down. Oh boy, it's not looking too healthy for Tushkan. The loss of the Stummel, man, set him so much back. And he's barely able to leave the base.
I'm wondering if getting a propaganda tower like somewhere around the exit of his base would be a good idea. Just to help with protecting these cut-off points. Might allow him to start branching out a little bit.
He's just bleeding so much manpower. At least he has heal bunker up. He got the heal bunker while he was still having a slight advantage. But he's bleeding so much manpower at the moment.
Ray, by the way, has gone for advanced logistics and survival training from his upgrade center. So actually, he's higher health. It's costing him less to reinforce. This is just going to keep stacking and stacking into something that Tushkan isn't going to be able to easily handle. But where is the next selection of vehicle? Really interested to know where this is going.
Yeah, Ray will go tier 1, tier 4. For sure. He's having double fuel control. Tushkan is barely able to keep any units on the field. And Ray has The perfect infantry advantage.
I think at this point it probably would have been sensible to go back into another stunnel.
And more double bars are coming in.
One of our sectors is now in enemy hands.
So Ray is on a plus 33 fuel income currently compared to a plus 13 from Tushkan. I think he's got to start making a decision on how he's going to spend the little fuel he has. He's got 123 banks at the moment, but something's got to happen here to shift the map control a bit.
Last Stand is the worst battle group to play if you're behind. All the abilities are built around the idea that you are super aggressive and try to snowball. Once you are behind, you have nothing.
Fuel point is being seized by the
I'm just watching Tushkan's. He's got on the retreat path of Ray, but Ray was literally doing the opposite to him, trying to get on the retreat path. So this is a pretty bad retreat if he doesn't get out of there now.
We have command points that need allocating.
He should be fine though. The Panzergrenadier with the grand support pushes off the bar rifleman. Bar rifleman goes down though.
Territory point is no longer
Nope.
under our control.
Stern Pioneer not doing Stern Pioneer things.
Tushkan's gone for the MG42. I actually think that is a good choice.
That's a good idea. He needs scroll control.
He needs the recon for it though, and actually he's capping with his pioneers at the moment, but he needs to get something over there because I think he's just revealed himself on the munitions as well, so potential flank opportunity for Ray.
Commander, we've lost a
But
sector.
Tushkan was able to claw himself back into the game
No under
somehow.
enemy control.
A lot of manpower invested to achieve that, but still.
Well, they're not his resources yet. Even though he's decapped and even though he's out on the map, he's still on the same income at the moment because he hasn't quite secured it. There's a little bit of time for Ray to reclaim this.
MG42 no comes in handy, gets the suppression, and no, the Vet-free Stern Pioneer though is able to go to toe-to-toe with the rifleman. Equal fuel income for now. Stern Pioneer immediately gets merged. Maybe a second MG42? Like, obviously, Tushkan should know that Ray will play tier 1, tier 4, so AT gun
Clear
next.
for rocket strikes in our sector.
Yeah, I agree. We do have tank depot for Ray in the build currently. This, to me, has to be a Sherman.
I would go 105 Sherman. Like,
Yeah.
there's no tank threat whatsoever.
Sector lost.
Remain relatively unchallenged for a good 5-6 minutes.
100 points remaining for the Germans.
Captain gets sniped on retreat,
Has been killed. The victory point is under attack.
and AT gun is getting dropped in.
We've lost the territory. Bingo fuel in. Heading back to base.
I love Ray's positioning. He's just got this rifleman squad in the center that's just bouncing left and right over the wall to push this MG42 off. This is one of the things, like, if you've been playing this game, especially from Co 2 to Co 3, you know the map really, really well. These are the sort of high-level things that you can deliver in a game to get ahead of your opponent, but it's playing it masterfully.
Yeah. By the way, it was not an AT gun dropped in, but rather an MG, theatrical.
Have you ever played against Ray in a 1v1 or Vardy?
I think I played like once or twice, and he base locked me in 5 minutes.
Yeah. It goes something like that, doesn't it?
He's not playing much 2v2, so obviously he will beat me there as well, but I would probably survive a little bit longer.
I will say, I did play a game with Ray once. It was a 4v4, believe it or not. He was in that arena, and I don't think you noticed, I threw a grenade in his base just as revenge for the times he's humiliated me in 1v1s.
Understandable.
Territory lost. The victory point is
Tushkan is back on the map. He still struggles to keep map control, but he's at least able to leave his corner. He just needs to be careful.
He's doing a really good job. You've got to hand it to him. Like, this is a really tough fight against a top player, of which he's also a top player. But I mean, this is a difficult fight, and he is, showing that there are ways out of the situation. Just whether or not he can hold it or not, I think, is the key here. But still 280 VPs for Tushkan. He's got a bit of time to figure something out. The fuel income is there now, but he's just got to figure out a way to stop this probing advance from the bars that just keeps coming. It's like a wave against the shore.
Yeah. Oh, nice nade on the Panzergrenadiers with an automatic fire. They are forced off.
Leave him!
In the meantime, we have... Oh, he lost the Vet 3 Stern Pioneer. I missed that. Oh, boy. And Tushkan is playing with fire. He went tier 4. He's not that far off from a P4. He's lucky that Ray went for both infantry upgrades. Otherwise, there will be a hell to pay with no AT against tanks.
Cut that infantry down, boys! They're in the open!
But it really tells the story. Ray was able to afford 2 really expensive infantry upgrades, and he's still able to get out the tank before Tushkan is able to kill the tank. That's always a sign that you have some map control problems.
We'll see if that actually works out, though, because the fact that he is only getting a tank out around the same time that Tushkan's going to be building that Panzer IV anytime soon. I think this is a tank. The health may not be sustainable.
Yeah, but Tushkan once again lost map control. He could afford a P4 now, at least U-wise, still lacking 100 manpower.
Finished and ready.
Yeah.
Return fire!
The Sherman will hit like a brick though. Like, there's nothing to contest it.
Yeah, I have actually just seen as well, he does have the dual P-47 rocket strikes, so the moment this vehicle comes out dead anyway. Kaiser, Tushkan throws in the towel, which means the series goes to Ray. GG, well played.
First finalist of the Meta Plays Pro League for this month, Mr. Ray. And GG, well played to Tushkan. And yeah, any final thoughts, my dear friend, Stormless?
Yeah, the thing that I picked up from this series a lot is that between these two players, and great games, but the infantry trading was just even across the whole series. Every single game, we did not have a situation where, no matter what the upgrades and no matter what was going on, that we didn't see a game where there were more than 10 kill differences, between infantry. So really, really good trading, high level of micro from both players, and a really good showing for the first semifinals.
Yeah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the second semifinals in a couple of seconds. It will be Wrigley versus Tony Montana, if I'm not mistaken, my notes are not lying to me.
You are correct.
And yeah, see you in a sec.
We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.